nothing ever comes through.
That's true.
And that's exactly why we decided to have you on studio today, to actually maybe show us if there's anything that we do wrong after the resolution, or maybe something that we need to do with the resolution. What exactly happens for one person not to be able to actually achieve whatever they want to achieve as the year starts?
I think one important thing that people need to understand is that you are a human being before you are a human doing. So do not measure yourself with what you do if you don't know exactly who you are. So you cannot just say, I am doing 1, 2, 3, and 4. You know what you want to do, but you don't know who you are. You are setting yourself for failure. So you are a human being before you are a human doing. So first of all, you need to know who you are, because you can set goals that are supposed to be set by somebody who is like this, or he has the qualities like this.
Yeah.
But understand who you are, and then you'll be able to set goals that are in line with who you are.
So firstly, you need to know your identity.
Yes.
Before you can even picture what you really want.
That is very important. If you think that probably you are a good singer, but you are not a good singer, and you are setting high goals on that place that I'm gonna win an award, you are winning, going to lose at the end.
I kind of feel like the puzzle because I said something on my status message, but it was a joke, Pastor, right?
Yeah.
So I said, this year I'm entering the South African Idols. I don't know how to sing. It was a joke. But people took it serious. But thank you for that, Pastor. So, when you know yourself, right? People have this habit of really, I wouldn't say they really know themselves, but they have this habit of justifying themselves by the next person. So I know you a pastor. I want to be like you, so I'm gonna act exactly the way you act.
That's it. It's more like you are having a monkey. And you are having a donkey, a cow, and you are saying your success should be measured by climbing the tree.
Okay.
Of course, a monkey will excel more than the others, because it is in the monkey to climb the tree. You see, so you should not compromise who you are by measuring yourself up to what other people are doing. Maintain your pace. And know what is your pace. A cheetah made it to the ark, and a snail made it to the ark, but the snail never took the pace of a cheetah.
It remains what it is.
That's it.
The question would be, how do you then identify who you are? How do you identify yourself, abilities, or who you really are before you could actually, set your goals?
Very important question. Thank you so much. I really believe that a person can never find themselves until they find God. If you want to define Mercedes-Benz, you need to go to Mercedes-Benz
first.
The manufacturer must define the product. So a lot of people are trying to define themselves without the maker. So how do you get to that level? And of course you are going to fail. You're not going to make it. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So what, Pastor, you are saying is seek him first.
Yes.
Then you know who you are.
That's it.
Then after that, you move on to what you want.
That's it.
Pastor, I read somewhere that in the Bible that as people we set goals like it is a new year. We have resolution. This is what I want to achieve by the end of the year, right? But here's the thing. We make our own plans, and God has plans for us.
That's it.
And now we have a tendency of thinking, especially the youth, we have a tendency of making plans, not achieving those plans, and thinking, oh, God doesn't love us. Right? Or maybe you do everything well to achieve those plans, but still it's not achievable. You still haven't obtained them.
Yes.
What happened? Is it because of our timing and God's timing did not align? Or is it just a coincidence of maybe a small error in our planning?
That's it. I think one of the things that I said to you earlier was that a lot of people are not living their dreams, they're living out their fears. And that is a big problem. It's like you are indicating on the right, but you are turning on the left, and you written everything on the paper. I've seen a lot of churches that are having a vision statement on the wall, right? Vision statement on the wall. But I have realized that ZCC is more successful than all of those churches, charismatic churches. It's because they understand that their vision is not just a vision on the wall, has become a culture and a custom and a habit in their life. And until you make that in your life, you'll never succeed. It must become something that you embodied and personify, and then you'll be able to achieve it.
Yeah, the question now would be, you spoke about vision statements, which I think a lot of people have right now. They already have written it to see it every day, just so they can be motivated to actually take a step forward in their dreams. I remember the other time I was also making a video telling my followers to, make a vision statement, and maybe if you can see it every day, you can start learning to actually do what you have to do all the time. So like Sir Cliff said, how is it that whatever you put in it does not come out? Whatever you put, and you're thinking you're doing enough, and you're thinking you're going according to what you are going. How do you then pick yourself up when you've tried everything and it still does not come into reality?
Yeah, I was speaking to a friend of mine. He's a pastor, and I was we're tackling the same challenge. And I was saying to him, when you have a vision, the first thing that needs to happen is that you must see your vision clearly. Clarity is the name of the game of the vision. Number two, you must feel it deeply. If you don't feel it, it can't move you. You see, you can't dream shallow dreams and think that you'll go to deeper waters.
Wow.
That cannot happen. So the first thing is clarity. It must be clear. There must no fog in what your vision is. It must be so clear. When we wake you up at night, you must be able to define it, because it defines you. Number three, you must take it seriously. In other words, when you take it seriously, you are able to say no to some friends that are an enemy to what you want to do. And number four, you must be able to speak it loudly. It must be clear to your friends, this is my vision. And you must be able to say, let's go to Kanyamazan, let's go and party this side. You tell them, I'm not going to go there, because I have a vision and it is loud and clear. We know where it's going. You remember in South Africa, before Mandela came out, the vision was clear. We had only stones, but we were able to overcome.
True that.
Understand? Because the vision was clear. Everybody in South Africa, young people, when you look at June 16, every young person, the vision was so clear. It was painted clear. It was for freedom. But the problem nowadays is that the country, the vision is not clear. That's why you see a lot of young people are not doing anything. They are idling, and the idle mind is the devil's workshop.
Wow, Pastor.
Listen to this.
Wow.
The devil's mind is the idle mind is the devil's workshop. Oh my goodness.
What took my attention is you can't do shallow when you're expecting to go to deep waters. Well, that's exactly why we have you here, Pastor. Another thing, man, when we're moving into the Christianity and churches and all that, a lot of churches are starting today, if I'm not mistaken, the 21 days of fasting and all of that. Why is it important to actually meditate on your dreams? Does that put any effort besides being a Christian, or besides just being a human being and meditating and actually thinking and putting your energy into it? How is it important to do so? Because maybe that's where we get it wrong. We don't give ourselves time to digest what we want to do throughout the year.
That is very important, to make sure that in the beginning of the year you take your dreams and commit your vision and your ideas, your plan to God. Because here's the thing, why is it that we go to church on a Sunday? Why not Monday? Why not Tuesday? Because the first governs the rest. The Monday is the first week, is the first day of the week, and it governs the rest. You know, January now is actually the beginning of the year. It governs what happened. It sets the tone of what is going to happen in the rest of the year. So what you do now, your prayer, your fasting, is actually setting the tone of what is about to happen. You are setting the environment of the year. Listen, if you have potatoes and one is rotten, all of them will be rotten. So you're gonna remove the rotten one, and if you don't do it, you are starting on the low note, and how you start determines how you finish.
True that, Pastor. At the same time, Pastor, I just want to tackle something, because I have a problem with motivational speakers in most cases, because I feel like somehow most of them sell us dreams, do you understand, of reaching your goals, becoming whatsoever, overcoming. But then the mere fact that when you're trying to build your dreams, there are storms and tribulations that you're going to encounter along the way.
Yes.
So what are the weapons that you can actually equip us? Because once somebody said, it was Benjamin Dube, he said that the problem with us is that whenever we are attacked, we are using weapons that the enemy knows how to master.
Yes.
Do you understand? So what are the weapons that we actually need to equip ourselves with in order to overcome whatsoever that is going to come along the way?
Wow, that is powerful.
Wow, very.
Les Brown says a very powerful statement. He says, if you are walking with 9 losers, very soon you become the number 10.
Okay. True.
Now,
I mean,
No, that is.
hard.
so what I'm saying to you is that, you know, when you have a dream or a vision, associate with people that have dreams and vision. Obviously, you will have time where you will fall.
Yes.
But here's the statement: when you fall down, make sure that you fall on your back, not on your face. Because if you fall on your back and you look up, you can get up.
Okay.
So a lot of people, it's that they mix with people. If one person is an eagle, but the person is mixing with chicken, and I'm telling you, you are not going to make it. Surround yourself with people like-minded people. That iron sharpens iron, that can be able to sharpen you and challenge you to get up. Now, here is the thing that is the problem with a lot of people that I think they don't understand. Failure is part and parcel of success.
Yes, true.
You cannot delete failure. Every person that is successful is a person who has failed. The problem people don't succeed is because they don't want to fail.
Okay. So which means we are actually not immune to failure.
Yes.
But then the problem starts when you don't know what to do after failure.
That's it. You get up. You do it again. You
there
get
you
up.
have it.
And that is very important, that you get up again. You do it again. Donald Trump, I don't know how many businesses he started and he failed and he got up. Look at where he is right now. They say that a big shot was a small shot that kept on shooting.
Oh, okay.
So you keep on shooting. When Jesus came to Peter and he says, I fished the whole night and I have failed. And Jesus says, no, throw the net into the deep. You do it again. So a lot of people have failed. Now, the reason you fail sometimes is because maybe it was the wrong timing. You're doing the right thing at the wrong time.
Timing. Okay.
Yeah.
So it is not really yet the time for you to actually
Yes.
fish out and actually fill your net with those fish, right? And at the same time, I think the problem when Jesus came to those fishers and said, well, he actually recognized the problem.
Yes.
The mere fact that he said, throw the nets deeper.
Yes.
It means they were busy throwing the nets.
Yeah.
So it was the approach that was wrong. So when Jesus came in, he changed the approach, and then they came out victorious.
That's it.
Wow.
You know, one of the things that I want to emphasize about that scripture, I know we are talking about resolutions. When Jesus came to him, he did not say, because you have failed, go and look for another lake.
It's still there.
It was the same lake. It's the same business. The same person. But what changed is that now there is Christ in the boat.
Wow.
Did you guys hear that? Did you guys hear that?
The problem is not that you can't.
You can.
Who do you have?
But
in your
who do you
list?
have? So your disposal.
Yeah.
In your disposal, you need to have Christ.
That's it. And look, he must not be an add-on. It's not the
Yeah,
cherry.
yeah.
It's the center.
You know, Pastor, I've been having this problem, right? Like, people have a tendency of starting something, and when it fails, they add him on.
Damage control.
You know, like he was an afterthought.
That's always the problem.
But then he should be there at the beginning.
That is so correct. I was saying to someone that, you know, when you use the things of God as an emergency, you'll find yourself in ICU.
Ish.
You know, when you say it like this, I'm reminded of the Chinese saying that a medicine in the hands of a fool can become poisonous, and a poison in the hands of the wise can become a good medicine. So you are using Christ in an emergency situation. He is a good tool, but you can find yourself in ICU.
That's it. That's it. He is the center. You know, a lot of people have got this whole thing that it's God, it's my family, it's my job, and all of these things. That is how the priority they put it. But I have this thing that you need to have him at the center. He must tell you that now you must spend more time with your wife. He must tell you now you must spend time with your kids. He must tell you now you must spend time at your work. He is at the center of everything, and things change.
Wow. So how do you differentiate? How do you know when God is speaking to you? How do you know when God is actually, speaking to you, that this is God now speaking to me?
Amazing. I think a lot of people think that God speaks in a voice or another thing. But what I want to say to you is every person build inside of them, there's an ability to hear God.
Yes.
Your body can tell you when you are not eating right. And actually you know when God is speaking to you. That feeling that you have on the inside.
Yes.
That is God.
And I think in most cases we mistaken because we want to hear God when he speaks about bigger things and whatnot. It starts with those small things, man. When you try to steal the sugar and like no, that's not the good way. You understand? So those are the steps to actually recognize God's voice.
And besides, I remember I was talking to this other friend of mine, and he was just saying how people want change in their life. So when you're talking about I'm going to change my life, you are talking about a car already. And it starts with keeping time, small things that build up to a bigger vision. So I really took that, and I was like, the problem with us is that we often think when you want to change, you just instantly gonna stop and do this.
And change immediately.
Yes. I think that is the problem that most people do have.
But you, like the pastor said, you need to have Jesus at the center of everything you do. Actually, you need to have Jesus at the center of your heart, right? There's this scripture. I'm not really sure where is it, right? But then I believe when it comes to change, remember the story of the kids of where they were slaves in Egypt. Yes, and they had to they were given a promised land, right? So they were supposed to go there, right? And I've noticed something very significant there, that actually the most important thing wasn't the promised land. The most important thing was the change in between their walk, the period, right? The journey. So I feel like if you can never wake up and just change just like that, right? Exactly. So you can never just wake up and change just like that. And we make the mistake of giving. Sometimes we give the devil too much credit. Honestly, sometimes we give him too much credit. Any tiny flaw, we think it's the devil, right? Sometimes it can be God trying to shift you in the right direction. Or sometimes, can you imagine trying to obtain something, right? You have New Year's resolution, you want to start your own company, for instance, right? And then you're at the verge of starting your own company, and then when you thought you had the money to start your own company, money get lost, and you think, this is the devil's work, right? Only to find out that there was actually something that was gonna hold you back for the longest of time in front, but because you didn't have the money to start your company, now you didn't get there, and when you finally get the money, it's gone. You know, so we make the mistake of trying to change immediately, not knowing who we are, like the pastor said, not knowing who we really are. And then we fail, and we're like, Satan,
So which brings us back to Pastor, what is the art of changing to, you know, to the character or to the person that you want to become? Because I think it will start there before you can now start achieving.
Yeah.
What is the magic there?
I think one of the things that I think is very critical is the quality of your life is determined by the quality of the information that you receive. Okay. And so a man under instruction is a man under construction. So if you are not taught, you know, and directed by somebody, you are not going to improve in your life. So what I will say is that is very critical. First of all, get into the Word of God. And secondly, you must find books that you can read that can shape and define who you are in your life. You know, that kind of a thing is very critical and very important. Otherwise, you are not going to move any forward. Looking at when you talk about your goals and your dreams and your visions, all of those things, you must always get this information that can actually move you forward. But here is the thing that I want to say. Information is knowledge, right? But then there is what we call interpretation of the knowledge that you have. Because you can have knowledge and you're not going anywhere, because you are not able to assimilate and interpret that knowledge in your life. And the last stage is application. You must be able to apply what you know that you have interpreted. That is the key, you know. But in saying this, I wanted to say something concerning the whole issue of dreams, visions, and resolutions, and all of those things. Here is the key, that at the end of the day, when resolutions are written and dreams and vision statements are written, at the end of the day, what actually makes sure that a person succeed is action. That small word carries so much power.
Action.
Yeah, action. You must take action. So not just write it down.
So it's no point to have all these things if you're not gonna apply them.
That is it. I said to this statement, please just listen to this. Action is the unction of results. I don't care whether a person is anointed or person is talented, but if they are not a person that implement and execute that which they have in their hearts, they will be having a nightmare for the rest of their life.
Wow.
So nothing is really worth it without the action. Guys at home, listen here. Okay, you can be, like they say, you can be anything you want to be, but without the action, you nothing.
It's 2 minutes right before 9 o'clock. On studio, we do have Pastor Mongwe. If you want to be part of the conversation, it's 066-057-6802. That's the number that you need to dial in order to talk to us on WhatsApp, and also call us in on the same number. On Facebook, it's Wiggle Tunes. On Instagram, Wiggle Tunes. And on Twitter, it is Wiggle Tunes XA. He is talking about action, which is, very, very important. I think that's why they say talk is cheap.
Yeah.
Actions is what determines what exactly you want to do. Because I remember one day my boss once said, when you can talk all you want, but if you don't do, it will certainly show itself. The holes will just come out for like when you're just walking,
Yeah.
you'll just see that you just you expose yourself.
That's it.
If you talk too much and don't do.
So, like you guys said, a lot of people have New Year's resolution and all that. They do the whole planning, but here's something that's still gonna happen right now, right? Pastor, tomorrow the matric results are coming out, and we have an issue here in South Africa that pupils that have haven't completed or have failed to complete, right, tend to commit suicide, and it's a huge deal. I don't know where it comes from, right? I'm just concerned on how they move about after they found out they haven't really passed their matriculant, and as parents, in most cases, as parents, we have a tendency of putting so much pressure in them. When the results come out and you find out that your child hasn't made it, so now we get angry, disappointment. In your views, Pastor, what would you advise the parents if it happens that the kids come back with not so looking good results?
And Pastor, right before we continue with that conversations, let's just run to the news very fast and come back and wrap up with that conversation as well. It's exactly 9 o'clock and it's time for the news with Stembile here on Wiggle Tunes.
It's 9 o'clock and these are top stories this hour. Traffic officials have taken 27 vehicles off the road on routes back from holiday destinations. Transport Minister Fikile Mbalula has joined operations at the Diuk Toll Plaza in Gauteng. Mbalula says he's alarmed by the drivers and passengers not